From a ballerina in Brazil to the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. Drivers, take a seat. This is the story of Luana Lopes Lara. In this series, I break down how some of your favorite celebrities and high-performing women are redefining the rules of business, the decisions they make, the risks they take, and how they turn those into real advantage. And at the end of each episode, I share a lesson you can apply to your own career or business. And this is the improbable story of Luana Lopes Lara, the Brazilian ballerina who became the youngest self-made female billionaire after her fintech company, Kalshi, reached an 11 billion valuation. And this is how she did it. So, who is she? Luana is a 29-year-old Brazilian entrepreneur, and she's the co-founder and COO of Kalshi. Kalshi is the first federally regulated prediction market exchange in the US. You're probably wondering, what is that? So she essentially built a platform where you can legally place bets on future events. For example, will it rain tomorrow? Who wins the next election? And if your prediction is right, you make money. Here's why this story is so impressive. She and her co-founder didn't just build the platform. They first had to fight for the legal framework to make it possible. But first, let's rewind. From a very young age, she was, by her own description, weirdly obsessive and ambitious. She kept a list next to her bed of people she wanted to emulate. People like Winston Churchill, Alexander the Great, apparently even Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. And she trained as a classical ballet dancer at one of the most grueling programs in the world, at the Bolshoi Ballet School. 13-hour days, academic classes from 7 in the morning, then ballet until 9 at night. Her teachers would even hold a lit cigarette under her thigh to see how high she could lift her leg without getting burnt. And here's something worth sitting with. Research shows that nearly 94% of women in the C-suite were former athletes. That is not a coincidence. The discipline, the resilience, the ability to absorb brutal feedback and keep going, those become their strengths. So overnight, she walked away from everything and decides to enroll at MIT because she wants to build something big. And she spends her MIT summers interning at two of the most powerful firms in Wall Street, Bridgewater Associates and Citadel Securities. She was watching how the smartest people in the space thought about money and the future, and she noticed a gap. At MIT, she also met Tariq Mansour, who had also worked at Citadel and also Goldman Sachs. Together, they spotted a gap that nobody had filled. Every investor, every analyst, every person had an opinion on what's going to happen next. People are constantly forming views about the future, but there was no simple, legal way to just bet directly on an event outcome. So they decided to build it. It was absolutely not an easy path. They spent the first years fighting to make it legal, and dozens of law firms wouldn't even take their case. Then, in November 2020, they win the case, and Kalshi becomes the first federally regulated prediction market in US history. Fast forward to 2024, the US presidential election. Kalshi's platform gave Trump significantly higher odds of winning than every major traditional pollster. So, overnight, Kalshi went from an interesting startup to the most credible forecasting tool in America. Let's look at the numbers. In October 2025, Kalshi raised $300 million. 6 weeks later, another $1 billion round. Their valuation, $11 billion. And in March 2026, they reportedly raised another $1 billion round, bringing the valuation to $22 billion. And the business is only getting started. They're now moving into sports betting, and because they're the only federally approved exchange, they have an incredible advantage. Luana has 12% stake. That puts her net worth at $1.3 billion. And I keep coming back to this quote by an Andreessen Horowitz partner, one of the most respected investors in Silicon Valley. There are few better trainings for being told no and pushing through anyway than being a professional ballerina. So what is the lesson here? Luana didn't just work hard. She was very deliberate about where she put herself. Ballet, MIT, Bridgewater, Citadel. Each one a high-pressure environment that raised her standard. And when she decided to build a company, she didn't choose what was fast or easy. She chose what was hard to replicate. Regulation, infrastructure, legal barriers. These are the things that most people would avoid. But that's exactly what made Kalshi defensible and highly competitive. So, if you're building something right now, ask yourself, are you choosing what's easy to start or what's hard to copy? Because the second one is usually where the real leverage and where your advantage is going to be. So that's Luana Lopes Lara, the Brazilian ballerina who built the billion-dollar tech company. Drivers, if you learned something today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. So let's keep the wheels turning, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you soon.